Hello everyone. Today is going to be a very brief video, but it's about strange sounds the astronauts are hearing on the Starliner. Daryl Guberman, quality expert, will tell you why. Do you realize that the new CEO of Boeing, Mr. Robert Kelly Ortberg, brought with him 348 souls? What does that mean? When he was at Collins, several things happened. When he was at Collins between 2017 and 23, but he wasn't there. He was there for 90% of the issue that happened with cybersecurity issues, with 750 different issues that took place, where you have the F-22 Raptor, the F-35, the B-2, some missile systems all in jeopardy that were on computer systems, that were on employees that Robert Kelly Ortberg was the CEO of. And the Department of State fined them like $200 million, I think, because they're making amends. All the rest of this mess, that went down to $100 million. So there you go. Robert Kelly Ortberg was there from 2017 to 21. So 90% of that stuff happened under his watch, it appears. The next thing is that while he was on board of Collins, or Rockwell Collins, they were part of ANSI ANAB. They sat on the board, of course, sat on ANSI ANAB's board, the same accreditation body that Boeing uses. And as I've told you time and time again, Boeing is, not Boeing, but ANSI ANAB is the accreditation body that Boeing shoves down the throats of their suppliers and subcontractors. It was called out on a supplier bulletin in 2002 for AS9100. It must be AS9100 and ANSI ANAB accredited. You send in your certs, send in your parts. We don't have to come visit you for 22 years. The next is on their supplier portal, where the suppliers go to take a look at what's inside and what are the requirements. It's that any third-party audit or third-party registrar must be ANSI ANAB accredited or international equivalent, which meant could be China, Iran, Pakistan, because they are equivalent in accreditation to ANSI ANAB. Also, they also sit on the management committee of ANSI ANAB, which they took off the website, which is absolutely abominable. They took it off, and it is absolutely terrible that they took that off their website. I took a snapshot of it back in March, and I have to say this committee, the management committee, could grant, suspend, and withdraw certification. What is that telling you with that? So ANSI ANAB are also underwriters, and they're also ANSI formulated the IF, and they are any accreditation body that sits on the IF or ILAC, their sister organization, International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation in Australia, are equivalent in accreditation to ANSI ANAB. So now let's go back to Robert Kelly Ortberg. If you really want to know what the tapping is on the Starliner, because I've heard a video that they made with the tapping, it sounds more like a sonar. My feeling is that Robert Kelly Ortberg brought 348 ghosts with him from the failure of the MCAS system, on the Ethiopian Air and Indonesian Air. How do we know that that isn't the spirits of all 348 passengers? We don't know that sonar sound. I know it sounds kind of crazy, it kind of sounds kind of loopy, but just think about it. All of a sudden it started to appear. I have said it time and time again to you, ladies and gentlemen, business owners, my fellow citizens, that if Boeing doesn't get me on their capacity when it comes to quality control, that 348 ghosts from the Ethiopian Air and Indonesian Air are going to be stuck to Mr. Ortberg's soul. I don't make this up. This is absolutely deplorable what they pick for leaders of companies. They pick the same old, or not of the same. They were looking for a dark horse. I read many articles about this. We're looking for a dark horse, somebody who's with the aerospace, but somebody who's a stranger to this. There's no stranger. He made the MCAS system for Boeing. He's no stranger to Boeing. Yes, and I would say, there's, I don't know if I could say it, there's no difference between him and Charles Manson. Charles Manson's people went out and killed people, but Charles Manson did not do it. But he got put in jail. Robert Kelly Oberg's engineers did what they had to do. He's the leader, and he should be brought up on charges, without a doubt. He should be brought to the DHS. But remember this, ladies and gentlemen, the Department of Homeland Security sits on ANSI ANAB's board as a member and also a customer, where they pay a fee for services that are being rendered by ANSI ANAB. So what are we doing about this? Those noises on that Starliner, how do we know what they truly are? They're going to try to map it out and see. They still can't come up with any sort of idea, but just think about this, those who are spiritual, those who are religious. You know, Robert Kelly Oberg comes to the shores of Boeing with 348 souls in his soul. Is he going to accomplish good? No. The reason why is, number one, if he doesn't get Daryl Guberman as a leader in quality to put initiatives out there to bring quality back into the realm of what Boeing used to be known as, then those 348 souls are going to pester him for his entire term, which will probably be about a year or two, because another aircraft will ultimately go down. My telephone number is 203-556-1493 or Daryl, TQRS @yahoo.com.